Hi guys, it's Ayshxo here again. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, to Sticky Stitch. It's been a long time since I've uploaded anything, and let's not make any excuses about it. It is what it is. As the title suggests, this is actually not a cross-stitch video, it's a knitting video. That's probably I always get distracted by my front window. There's probably a couple of reasons for that. One would be I kind of have lost, I said to Amanda that I kind of lost my cross-stitch mojo, but I think what it is, it relates to number 2, which is it's heating up here in Australia. And as you guys know, I've said in the past, I actually can't cross-stitch without magnifying glass and with a lamp. I need a daylight lamp. Daylight isn't enough for me, so I rarely stitch during the day. And what I find with a lamp is I do get a bit hot and I get a bit uncomfortable. So I think the last time I picked up the needles, I lasted about 10 stitches or 15 stitches. I just didn't like it. So on the cooler days, I will continue to cross stitch, but on the warmer days, what I'm finding is that I'm enjoying cross stitch. Anyway, so long and the short of it is that I think I might start doing some knitting podcasty things as well during the summer, so you'll see them uploaded more than the cross stitch. But believe me, cross stitch is the first love. Cross stitch is the first love. For those of you who are just joining me, who you're watching my videos for the first time, welcome. My name is Ayshxo. This is the channel Sticky Stitch, but on other social media I have different names. So Ms Goddess in Training on Instagram, which I'm probably most active on, because I do have another YouTube channel called Ms Goddess in Training. And also, if you're like Ravelry, then it's The Sticky Stitch. On Twitter, it's Ms Goddess in Training at Turkish Delight. Anyway, all the details are down below and you'll see them there. Anyway, so I decided to do a fortnightly knitting podcast. Maybe we'll see how it goes, because initially I thought I'll just do one video a month or one video every 3 weeks or whatever, whichever the way the wind blowed is that such a word, blew, whichever way the wind blew at the time of recording or at the time of how I'm feeling. Anyway, I think I'm sort of like, I've got to stop looking out the window. I think don't know what to do with myself because it's been such a long time, and I really need to upload some other videos on my makeup channel. Still haven't done that too. Apologies if you can hear the air conditioner. It's really hot. You're probably wondering why then I'm wearing this, because it's the last day of Movember, and so I need to honour the stash because I love a good moustache. And yeah, I consider myself a Mo sister. I love moustaches. Anyway, so I do want to probably say a couple of things that usually I tend not to talk about things that I've done in my personal life, and a lot of people do that with knitting podcasts. I don't think I could go to that level, but I do want to share a couple of things that happened in the last couple of weeks that I enjoyed. So the first one is I did upload to Instagram that I went strawberry pricking last week, and it was, I mean, you don't last there long. It was a blistering hot day, but God, it's fun. You just, you stuff your mouth full of strawberries, and you put a couple in the punnet, stuff your mouth full of strawberries, put some in the punnet. And basically with, the whole Turkish guilt and all that, we end up obviously buying every single strawberry that we have picked, rather than you can leave it with the farm as well. And so I ended up coming home with $25 worth of strawberries. I know, and they don't last as long as the supermarket ones, because the supermarket ones have got, interesting things, I'm sure, sprayed on them to, keep them around longer. So, but they were beautiful and they were big, and I made myself sick, eating them. And then we had so many left that, and $25 worth of strawberries, oh my God, like a lot, because it was $10 a kilo. So you're not saving that much more from the supermarket, but they're nice and fresh, and They were beautiful. Oh, the smell of strawberries. I ended up buying some strawberry sauce and strawberry vinegar. I have no idea what I'm going to do with strawberry vinegar, but so if you know what I can do with strawberry vinegar, let me know. Yeah, so we had a bit of fun there, and then we spoke to the woman and she said that they had cherries as well, but we didn't want to wait in line to pay to get in to pick the cherries, whereas with the strawberries we didn't have to wait. And I went to a farm in Bacchus Marsh. I can't remember it, but it starts with the letter N. So I'm sure if you looked in Bacchus Marsh, if you're in the Victoria area, you could go there. We were going to pick cherries as well, but the line was too long. I really don't have that much care factor because I'm not into the normal, you know, that burgundy dark deep cherries. I'm not a big fan of those. I like those ones that are creamy and then they've got a blush side to them. Does that make sense? You know, with the white flesh. Which basically you don't see at supermarkets, and I really wanted those. Anyway, so we asked the woman because my sister and I love them, and turns out they do have a few trees, not too many, and she said call us in a couple of weeks and I'll let you know whether they're around or not. So I'm hoping that the next couple of weeks might be some nice weather so we can pick some white cherries. Well, I call them white cherries anyway. I have no idea what the official name is. And then also I watched The Mockingjay Part 1. You know, I've got 3 sisters, so when I say my sister, I'm talking about more than one, potentially talking about a different person. So one of my sisters, because all 4 sisters actually went and watched this, because, you know, obviously we're sisters, so that's what we do. One of my nephews came along as well. But we all watched it, and then my sister goes, and you know, I kind of agree with her. She's going, I understand that they make 2 parts to a movie because I want to make more money. But realistically, I'd be happy to pay double if I can watch both movies at the same time. You know what? I would too. So next time, any other major book, trilogy, whatever, where you're doing the second one, the third book, or the last one in whatever length of books there are, because obviously it's become all the rage now to just stretch them out. If you guys could actually just make them both together, which you probably do. Apologies, my phone just went off. You obviously film it together, so let us just watch them together and charge us double. I'll be happy to do that. So The Mockingjay, great if you're into the Hunger Games. This is the first half of the 3rd book. I quite liked it. It was good. The special effects were good. Really enjoyed it. I wish they would actually stretch it over to 3 movies so they really don't miss out on anything of the last book, just so that the story can last longer. Anyway, but really enjoyed it, so if you're into that sort of stuff, absolutely do recommend it. Okay, so on to the knitting. Now, as I said, I'm new to knitting. When I say I'm new to knitting, how do I put this? I have knit and crocheted a lot in the past. Actually, I might show you some stuff if I ever come across them, but I haven't, and the extent of my knitting over the last 10 years would be scarves and, you know, just drop stitch or garter or stockinette, but nothing special. And then I thought it's time for me to pick up some knitting, because and I mentioned in the first one, and I'll mention it here again, my sister was going through some chemo. We went to this program called Look Good, Feel Better. Absolutely fabulous program, and I think they do it worldwide as well. Anyway, so part of that, they were actually giving away, like, people had, as you know, as charitable knitters are, because knitters are so awesome, and cross stitches, you know, that sort of, that what we used to call the nana crafts, which we know it isn't the nana crafts, what we used to call those sorts of crafts, people are just so giving, and, you know, people have just knit all these hats and provided them so that those who are losing their hair can, you know, use them, put them on their head and have something that's homemade, and it was just lovely. Anyway, so I decided I really want to do that so I can knit some for the program or for some shelters, all that sort of stuff. So that sort of was my impetus to do it, and I haven't knit a hat yet, but then again, it's summer and I can't even think about knitting somebody a woolen hat, so maybe I'll wait until February or something to start knitting those sorts of charity hats. Anyway, so that I thought, well, I need to start learning how to knit. When I say knit, I mean reading patterns, that sort of stuff. And then maybe I can learn to do different patterns for beanies and hats, and I want to make my dad's socks and blah blah, or etc etc etc. So anyway, so I've got a lot of finishes to show you, or the faux, the finished objects to show you, because I have not shown you anything knitting related for probably at least a month, and because I haven't been stitching as much, or if at all. Sorry, I've got a bit of indigestion. Because I haven't been crusting as much, I've been getting a bit more knitting in, because I've said in the past that I've been feeling tired, and I don't know why my hair's so flat, but anyway, I've been feeling tired, so I'm not in the mood to really do much at night, and if I am, I've just been picking up the knitting for an hour or two while I'm just doing basically nothing. I can do it without wearing contact lenses. I can just use my normal glasses. So it's not as much of a palaver for me to knit than it is to cross stitch, because I need, and I love my lamp because it was a birthday present. My daylight lamp, my hot light. I need magnifying glasses over my contacts. So I do, it is a bit of a drama for me to cross stitch, but it's a drama that I do with love. But anyway, so that's why I've been knitting so much, and that's why I probably have a lot of knitting off the needles as well. So perhaps I'll start in order. The first one is what I showed you last time, which was basically the Hitchhiker from Martina Bem. So I won't show the pattern again. I just want to show you that I did block it and I have worn it. So the they're probably curled up again now, but the teeth are awesome. I love it. Almost looks like school uniform. I love it. It keeps you nice and warm, although I don't need to keep warm at the moment, but I have used it on the cool days and I'm really enjoying it. So this was, I call this my Hitchhiker in training, because basically this is also what got me into knitting, because I really wanted to knit something that was an homage to I was going to say Dinner at a Homesick Restaurant. What is this? A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So love that, and I'm looking forward to making a few more of those ones. So, but you had already seen that one. I think I could do these in order, but we'll see how we go. Firstly is the Aphelion Cowl, or the Aphelion Cowl. The Aphelion Cowl is by Carlissa Anderson, and I'll put all the links underneath this video. So that's the picture there of her one, but it's very slow. So that's it there. And this pattern calls for DK or 8 ply with 4.5mm needles. That's what I did. I did it on some circulars from Knit Pro. This is my one. I call it the Aubergine Eggplant Aphelion Cowl, because some places call it, some countries call it aubergine, some countries call it eggplant. In Australia we call it aubergine or eggplant. So it's just this beautiful purple colour, and that's pretty true. I just love it. This, I'm actually holding it the wrong side. This is actually the right side out. It's just gorgeous, and I did these with Click Heat and Country 8 ply, so just some stuff that I picked up from Spotlight, which is like a big box store. So it's just a nice long cowl. If I double over, it will keep you very warm, but it's not something that I would wear that close to my face, because I wear a lot of makeup during the day, and I don't want it to all be rubbing all the nice yarn. But I will definitely be giving this to someone as a gift. I just love the colour. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's nice and squishy. I love the design on it. They're just easy yarn overs. It's a free pattern, and what do they call it? Knotted stitch or something? I don't know. But I love it, and that fluff is going to irritate me now. It's just gorgeous. It's such a quick knit, and actually do think that you guys should check that one out. That's really nice, and that's the Aphelion Cowl. I've made a lot of cowls because I'm really enjoying it, and as you'll see, the next one is, and again I don't have the, well I do, but I don't know where I kept it, and I actually don't even have the leftover yarn. I really want to show you the leftover yarn. The next one is another pattern from Martina Bem, and that's called the Brickless Shawl. So if I have a look at there for you so you can see what the pattern is supposed to look like as opposed to the disaster I have made of it. I ended up stitching this. I didn't use the yardage it requires. I just wanted to see what it looked like, and then I thought maybe I will, because her design is actually made with the Yowza from Miss Babs, and I didn't want to spend all that money if I couldn't manage the pattern. Now you guys might look at this pattern and go, well, that's really easy. I'm reading a pattern and I don't read patterns, so oh my god, I've got indigestion, I can't even say it, but that's what her one looks like. And it's basically, it starts off small and it gets bigger. So it starts off at this end, and this hasn't been blocked yet. So it starts off like that, and then it gradually gets larger. So you've got sort of these yarn over rows and a stockinette row and a garter stitch rows, and they're all just to her pattern. What I found was that I kept on losing count, so some of these don't have the required rows or more rows than the pattern has asked for. And for my last rows, I was basically paying yarn turkey, and I despise having to unpick or tink anything, so I just continued on until yarn finished. So I didn't do as many repeats of each design. I just did a few of each design just so that I could cast off, and I really like it. So this is the colour there. This is from Cyborg Craft Room yarn, and the colour is one that I can't pronounce, but it's called Bienvenue au Cirque. It's just a beautiful colour. It's in her bio space, I think it is. So that's the colour there. Again, love it. It's a decent enough size. It is quite thin here, but I think because I sort of kind of tried to block it, but I didn't have time to, so this one pretty much stretched out. But again, love it. It's probably something that I would wear. I've actually taken this with me even though I hadn't blocked it, but I liked it because it's a nice bright colour, and I'm not a blue person, so I quite like this colour. It reminds me of it reminds me of fish in a pond, you know, those koi colourways that everybody loves, the koi fish pond. And it's so small because it's made out of fingering, and it's only made out of one skein. Like, it's just so small, it fits in your handbag, so it's perfect for carrying in your handbag, like when you go to the movies and it's always too cold in a movie, or during the summer you might get some cold summer nights, just to take something small and light like this. I really like it, so looking forward to getting a lot of use out of it this year. And that was, did I say it was the Brickless by Martina Bem? And that is a paid for pattern. Now let me just see, and I actually called it the Brickless Fish Pond because I tried to choose names for my projects that either put a smile on my face or remind me of something, or so I love that. Easy to follow, again, for a newbie, but it was interesting. So I would imagine that if you're an experienced knitter, it is like potato chip knitting, but you sort of have to think at the same time. So quite like that one. And then I did another cowl. I know, I can't stop doing cows. But in my defense, I saw a number of people talking about this pattern, and I don't want to say sucker, because that means, it almost sounds like I've been ripped off or something like that. So how can I put this? I'm just going to say sucker, but you'll know what I mean. I'm a sucker for anything that involves a charity. So a few podcasters talked about the Love and Laughter cowl from Sarah Franklin. She's made this cowl basically, and she is donating the profits until the 31st of December. Will be donated to Silly Fru, who's another podcaster, to help with her medical expenses because she has been diagnosed with hairy cell leukemia. So of course I had to buy it, and not only did I have to buy it, I also had to make it as well, because I just thought that was, I'm distracted, but trust me, I thought it was important that yeah, that we shouldn't just be buying that pattern, but to also make it as well. And on my Ravelry page, on the project page for this, I called it the Remembering Friends cowl, and basically that what it was. I've lost my best friend to melanoma. She died when she was 35, and another high school friend died of breast cancer. So, and another very close friend passed away in July this year as well. So yeah, so I thought this was a good way to just knit, you know, that mindful knitting that people talk about, and just remember them, and it was nice, you know. It's, and I think, and I'm actually doing another project where I thought, no, I need to think of some good times when for certain projects. So this was just to remember some of the happy times that I spent with some of my friends, and this is how it came out. I'm sure to the experienced lot of you, this is probably not perfect, but I really like it. I like the colorway as well. It's got blue and sort of like a denim purpley blue, a maroon, a purple, like they're the colors there, and they're all the stitches as well. Beautiful cheap pattern. It's $3.50 US, which is about $4.20 Australian. And it's quite long, it reaches my waist, and it's really comfortable if you double over as well. And I can see myself making a few more of these, just with, you know, variegated yarn that you're not quite sure what you want to do with it. And I love it with the slip stitches, how they look on variegated. Yeah, I like it a lot. And the yarn that I used for that was from, let me just check the project page, otherwise I won't remember. It was actually from Miss Gusset, and I showed you that in the haul last time, I think, and it was her 50/50 fingering. It didn't have a colorway name, but on my project page I wrote that I used 55 grams, but I have no idea. I just like this, that's the what's left of the cake. There's still about 40 grams here, and I think I'm going to go and weigh this. Okay, so I've weighed it. I don't know what I was talking about beforehand, and yes, I'm absolutely correct. This probably used, well, what did I work out? I worked out that I probably used about 350 yards of this yarn. This yarn is from Miss Gusset. It's her 50/50 fingering. It doesn't have a colorway, and I got it from her Etsy store, and it's nice, and obviously this one's nice and squishy, but it was really nice to work with. It didn't split or anything like that. Loved it. So as normal sock stuff, nice. I do actually, I know that some of you smell yarn. I actually smell yarn too, and even one of my knitting friends looked at me funny. I was just going, don't you smell it? But so that's the Love and Laughter cowl, and if you're just curious as to how it's supposed to look like too, so lovely. And again, I'll link all of that stuff below. And then I made something else. This will be one of my all-time disasters. I tend not to rip things up. I tend to just make do, unpick, redo, all that sort of stuff, and I basically forged on, and I just was not happy with it at all, and you will see in a second, but I just want to pull up the design first. These are my first pair of socks. These are the Rye socks by Tin Can Knits, and they're made with worsted wool. That was my first problem. So these are what they're supposed to look like. So really lovely. Oh, and I love that brown, and of course I love that colour. I love all three colours of those. So the first issue I had was that I chose this yarn, and the yarn is from Morrison Sons, which is a store, I think they've got a major store in Sydney and Melbourne, and this is from their Empire line. It's 100% Australian super fine merino, 90 meters for 50 grams, and this is their color plumage. So that's the label there in case you're interested, but that's the color there. I mean, how can you resist? It's just one for one sock, one for another sock, but nice, loved it. Loved it. That's about it. Because apparently I'm really, one is that the fibers kept on splitting on me. Can you see it? Because it's a true, like, see that? And I just kept on grabbing it wrong, and so they're not, it's not a highly twisted fibre, and I kept on splitting the fibres as I knit, so as a result I've got all these little bauble type things that are irritating me. Gorgeous though. I really like the patterning on it. But see how I need to stitch that in. So I really did a dodgy work of the Kitchener stitch, and I know that you guys are all laughing, just going, get it away from me. But yeah, the toe degreases are awful, and I made it as an anklet. But how they did the heel, perfect. It fit perfect. Yeah, I really liked the heel. I have no idea what that sort of heel is called. But anyway, so there's a garter stitch there. Nice. But because I wasn't happy with the toe decreases, I don't know if I'm just going to rip them down and redo them from where they are, or what. I don't know. But then we get to the second one as well, which again was not an improvement to the toes. It doesn't look anything like, oh, maybe they are like that, but anyway, I still wasn't happy with it. So, but look at this. It's a definite pattern, isn't there? So I'm not impressed. Like, I don't mind a bit of flashing or pulling, I just think it's all in the fun, but because these are a machine dyed process, obviously, but how is that possible from the same dye lot when you've got this on another dye lot? Like, seriously, peeps, I don't know how it's possible. So I thought, well, if I take these, rip these up and make a hat out of them, then I would have the same problem as well. I'm not going to do the alternating skein thing. But I'll definitely wear them, but yeah, I'm just not impressed at all with the toe decreases. I'm going to try some toe-up socks next and see how I go with that. And then I'll try another, I keep on hiccuping and burping, apologies. And then I'll try, so I'll try toe-up socks, and then I'll try another cuff down pair of socks. And see how I go. But I also found that with one of them I just bind up, like I cast on too tight, and I've got to really practice at casting a bit more loosely. But so there are my rye socks, and they look like two different socks. I really love the patterning, and like I said, I have no problem with pulling and flashing. I just think it's part of the fun, and I understand why people don't like it. What pissed me off is that how can it happen in the same dye lot? It's not, it's machine done, so that's weird. And I wasn't impressed with the wool anyway, so I probably wouldn't buy that wool, that 10 ply any longer, which is disappointing because yeah, they're close by. I mean, they've got other wools, and you'll see that during my stash enhancements, because I've done a lot, and I won't be showing you all of it today because otherwise we'll be here for days and days. And my last finish, and again I told you I haven't filmed for a month, so about this, and this is one that had a deadline, and I've just made this out of basic acrylic. I should show you the bag that I had. This one isn't a bag that I made, but one of the ribbons is not there at the moment, so it's a drawstring, but it only draws strings from that side at the moment. Yeah, so cute owls and some chili peppers at the bottom. It's just got a square bottom. So I just made it, and it's got this cool grey dotted thing. So that's I made. I'm very proud. And this is not a bag that anybody special made. It's just a cushion cover. I like the colour. I can put it on the couch or on my bed and people will just think it's a cushion, but it's got my knitting in there for large projects. So I made a blanket for a work colleague who will absolutely not be expecting this off me, which kind of made me want to do it. So these are the colours I chose. So there's a brown, it looks blue to me on that screen, but it is blue, but it's more, runs a bit more teal, a creamy colour, and then a mid brown. So they're the 4 colours I chose. And she's having a boy. She knows she's having a boy, so it's no drama. And you'll see also that I'm not a person that likes traditional colours for babies. It's just boring, and everybody else will do that. So Auntie Ayshxo can do all the awesome stuff. So I made her a simple blanket with just the simple increases, and the pattern goes diagonally, but you stitch it from one end to the other. I hate casting on. I shouldn't say hate, because I actually try not to use the word hate, but I really despise casting on, and the least cast on I have to do, the better. So this is a cast on of 5. It is again a free pattern, and the pattern is just from the Line brand. Everybody knows this pattern, but because obviously I don't know how to knit, or learning how to knit I should say, I do know how to knit. Actually, I've got a story to tell you about that. Yeah, so this is a Baby Love Diagonal Baby Blanket by Line brand yarn. So just went there. I didn't do the number of increases they suggested because I'm doing it in an 8 ply, and then I used 6mm needles because I wanted it like really loose, because it's going to be a summer baby and I thought they can use this in the autumn. So these are the colours, and the number of rows, each one goes along the Fibonacci sequence. If you're a math nerd, you'll know what all that means. And the number of rows it has is a Fibonacci sequence number. So it's not asymmetric at all when it comes to that sort of stuff. There are two or three rows that are definitely not Fibonacci sequence, but that's because apparently I can't count to 5. Yeah, so I really like how it came out. I think I increased to about 160 something. I didn't count in the end. I just stopped when I got bored, and it's about, I wrote what the finished size was. So with the 6mm needles and the 8 ply or DK, it was about a metre squared. So that's when I don't stretch it, so it's about 40 inches. But yeah, I really like it. It's nice and squishy. It is acrylic, but I wanted something that could be washed quite easily. Yeah, and I really like it, and I really like the randomness of the colour rows, because basically I kept the sequence. I know I should have had 5 colours or 3 colours instead of 4 colours, because that's not a Fibonacci number. But for each row, I just stopped when I felt like stopping. I stopped at the next Fibonacci sequence. If I thought, okay, I'm tired, I don't want to knit this colour anymore, what row am I on? So if I was on row 11, I would knit another 2 rows to get to 13. So the Fibonacci sequence is basically something occurs naturally in nature. You know how people always say when you're planting plants that you should plant odd numbers are easier on the eye, that sort of stuff. It's sort of similar to that in the sense that a lot of things do occur naturally in this sequence. So the sequence is 0, 1, 1, 2, and because you add the 1 and the 1 together, which is 2. You add the 2 and the 1 together, which is 3. You add the 3 and the 2 together, it's 5. Next one is 8. And so you add the last number and the second last number to get the next number in the sequence. So this has 34 stripes, and the highest row count, I think I did 13. But I really like it, and it was a bitch to sew in all the ends, but I am really happy with it. I just love the colour. It's so squishy. I just want to make myself a black blanket now, but we'll see how we go. So that's basically it for my finishes. And then for my, I'm looking here because I'm looking at the pile. I want to show you something before I show you my whips. This is kind of a whip, but it's not my whip. So I've actually, I'm crafty. I like to learn the basics of something. So I was lamenting one day to my mum saying I have, and whether I continue or not, it's another story. I just want to understand it. And I said, mind you, this is all in Turkish because she doesn't really speak English. I was just saying, look, YouTube has failed me. I just can't get it. I can't spin. I can't do a drop spindle spinning. I can't do it. Wow. So I showed her, because I showed her my spindle. And then she's going, oh yeah, I remember those, oh, etc., you know, mother, blah, blah, blah. And, sorry, I'm getting the bag out. And so she picks it up and starts spinning. Now, Mum hasn't been next to a spindle, a drop spindle, in at least 50 years. She hasn't even seen one in 50 years, like live. She never used a drop spindle. She only ever used a spinning wheel. She's only seen her mum use a drop spindle, and she spun. And this is what she spun. How cool is that? Of course, it has to be plied. So she plied. This is, I weighed it. It's about 90 grams of 100% merino. So she spun that, and yeah, she just started spinning. And then she got bored, so I said, you might as well spin the other one that I've got, because by the time, because I've booked myself, that's what I was saying. I like to learn the basics of something, so I booked myself in for dyeing yarn and also a spinning class with the Hand Spinners Guild of Victoria. So, and then she spun this one, and like, she's so cool. People of that generation are just so much cluey than us. Like, absolutely amazing. This is just a cheap spindle that was $10. Again, I don't want to spend, even though, you know, there are so many beautiful spindles, I didn't want to spend money on something that if I couldn't get the hang of it. But she spun that up, and I reckon these two are going to look cool together. But the thing itself was, I don't know what it, oh, here it is. It's called Ash Stripy Blend 121 Autumn Dusk Corridale, 100 grams. And it's only $10. So, look at that. I just love the colour in there. So, they're the 4 colours in there. Love it. I actually thought that when she spun it, that it would be more, it would spin when they're mixed all together more brown. But, as you can see, it still retains some of its colour. But anyway, I was just excited to show that to you guys because I just think mums rock, and, or, you know, older people of that generation rock, because they just do. Or, you know, it doesn't have to be your mum, it could be your dad, uncle, auntie, you know, friend's mother, if you've got a good relationship with your friend's mother. But, you know, just that people of that generation. And again, this is a bag that I made, but for some reason I put a snap lock on there. There was an issue. Oh, that's right. I didn't do the whole drawstring thingy because I had it in mind to do something else. But that's what it's. I think I was going to do an exposed drawstring pockets all around, but I ran out of. Or I accidentally ran out of fabric, so that's just a yellow on the inside too. I just like it. And again, all these fabrics I had from quilting, and I just haven't used them, so I thought, why not use them to make myself some bags, even though I love buying them. But, you know, anyway. And lastly, I want to show you my current project, and this is, I'm actually going to cast on, because I think the next few days are going to be warm here too, so I'll probably cast on another project, and I'll show you in a second. But this is called the Teufelschwern, or the Loop. It's a free pattern from Berentune. Again, I'll link it below. It was originally, it's a free pattern. It was originally written in German, and it's an English so it's been somebody translated from German to English. not the most perfect translation, but I understood it, and if I can understand it in the sense that I don't knit, like I'm a new to knitter. I've got to stop saying I don't knit, because that's really irritating. But yeah, sort of, yeah, so the translation's fine, and it comes with a chart too. So I was just trying to find who did it. Yeah, it's a Beer and Tone Knitting, so that's the name there. So I've called this the Roseanne's Loopy Journey, and the reason why I called it Roseanne's Loopy Journey is that, I'll show the project first and then I'll show. So that's the bag. Again, it's a bag that I made. I love it, and it's got dots, and it's got love hearts, ribbons. And did I show you? So that's what it's supposed to look like, and there's a grey one there too. So I just loved the lumpiness of it, and my friend actually, my other only knitty friend actually showed it to me. So when you're knitting it, you basically knit it this way, so that's the side that you see, but when you wear it, you turn it inside out, and that's the effect you get. I love it. I'm actually knitting this in, I've actually got a ball band for you, the Cyborg Craft Room yarn, a Socolate, which is 75% marine, superwash merino, 25% nylon, in the colour Journey. And the ball, it looks like, oh, it's all tangly because I just chuck them everywhere, but that's the colourway there. So it's just got some blips of red through it, but it's obviously all green, and of course, who can resist some bit of chartreuse in there? Because I can't. But I just love it, and with this colour, it almost does look a bit, I'll just turn it this way, it does look a bit reptilian, and if you guys know anything about me, I can't stand snakes, but anyway, I love it. Some of them are a bit dodgy, but I figured these are all, I keep on calling these, a lot of my projects, my alphas, so you know, the test socks, but I'm really liking it, and there's no way I'd unpick this one. I'm really enjoying it. Basically the chart comes in, it comes in chart form, but the chart is easy to follow, and I was able to follow it, so everybody can. So I love it. So the reason why I called it Roseanne's Loopy Journey, one is because it's a cowl, so, and it's called Loop as well, so I called that the Loop. And Journey because the colourway is called Journey. Anyway, so me and some friends went, when we went to sort of Central Europe 6 years ago, we were actually sailing in a boat, kayak, I don't know, what do you call it when three people are in a boat? Rowboat, down a river in, what's it, the Czech Republic, possibly, yep, the Czech Republic in Český Krumlov. And the idea is that you roll down this, you know, you're on this boat, and you row and you row and you row, you know, pull off, go and have a drink at a riverside pub, and you keep on visiting these ones, and you keep on going. Well, no, we didn't know how to bank the boat. So me and my other two friends, so we're just rowing and going, well, it'll just be a nice row, and we'll just go to the drop-off point where they pick us up and drive us back to the hotel. I'm not going to go through all the dramas that happened that day, but and Roseanne's gone, I shouldn't name her, should I? What do you mean? Aren't we going to just finish where we started? And I'm going, you realise this is a river. It's not an amusement ride. We don't start where we began. So yeah, we had a bit of a laugh with that one, and you know, we had rain, I got injured, and then when we finally saw the guys that we sort of had to row to, so they can take the boat out and drive us back, and we go, we don't know how to bank, and we rowed through this poor guy's fishing lines, and there was sort of weir thing, and I've just gone, guys, we need to bank. I can't do a weir. I can't do another weir. I can't do it. I can't do it. It sounded like Niagara Falls. Like, I just pictured us just toppling over. You know, yes, we had life jackets and stuff, but just, oh God, we're going to drown. You know, we're in the middle of nowhere, etc., etc., etc. Can't do it. We've got to bank. We've got to try really hard. We've got to bank. So we banked. It was all fine. And I'm going to go and see how deep this weir is. It's like this, and I don't know why it sounded like Niagara Falls, but anyway, and the river's probably not even a metre deep. So it's just like, oh my God, I feel like I'm such an idiot. But anyway, it was an absolutely fun day. Injuries and all, and but yeah, it was good. So that's why I called it Roseanne's Loopy Journey, because she thought the river went in a loop. But anyway, so that's that. So that's my whips. I actually am going to cast on something this week as a result of buying something recently. And how do I show this to you? Did I... Yeah, so I went shopping and I bought some yarn, as you do, because apparently, so I had this rule with cross stitch that once I filled these certain 2 tubs that I couldn't buy anymore. So I think I've just changed and said, okay, well, if I can't buy that, I'm going to buy this, because there was no rule about the yarn. So I'm thinking, well, I'm not thinking, I definitely am going to cast on this shawl by Amber, AMBAH, awesome Australian designer. She did this Sea Dragon shawl, but this is what that looks like. So it's a bit more, I don't know, I just personally think it's nicer than the dotted rays, a bit more movement to it, a bit more, you know, there was just a bit of difference to it compared to something like the dotted rays, which had the eyelets and stuff, which I'll end up doing anyway. But this one really took my fancy, and I was just looking at her other designs, which is wow, wow. Anyway, so I bought some yarn, so I'm going to show you that. So this is basically where I talk about my wool piggery. So I bought these 2 yarns. Well, I bought 3 yarns. I went to Sunspun Yarns which is a yarn store for the Melbourne people. Where are they? Canterbury. Bit of a hike from my house, but had to go and check them out. So I bought 3 yarns from there. The first one I bought, they're all from a brand called Colette, which I'd never heard of, and they're made in Wales. The first colourway I got was Ayshxo, Ayshxia. This one's spelled, I bought that because it sort of goes with my name. My full name is Ayshxo, but a lot of people shorten it to Ayshxo, which is Ayshxo. But I don't like Ayshxo, so that's why I call myself Aysh. Anyway, so, or a lot of people do anyway. So I bought this colourway, which I don't know what I'm going to do with, but I had to buy it. But I bought these 2 colourways, and the first one's called Velvet Bilberry. So it's a beautiful variegated deep purple. And this one is called Wasabi something. Wasabi Squeeze. And that's the colour there. So these are all fingering, 100% merino, 400 yards. And I thought these 2 would good. So this will be the main colour, and this would be the darker black colour that you saw in that design. I thought they would be awesome, and they look actually quite true to colour there. So that's what I will be casting on, and you only have to cast on 3 stitches. I don't think I'm giving away the pattern by saying that. And then the other day something happened at work that I wasn't impressed. I've got nobody to blame but myself, so I had to do some retail therapy, and retail therapy goes along the lines of makeup first, cross stitch second, yarn third. You know, if I'm not going to buy shoes and clothes. And I didn't want to buy makeup, and cross stitch I really can't buy in the city. I can go to Morris & Sons, where I bought this yarn, but they're a bit of a rip-off, so I ended up buying yarn. So I bought and actually I'll show you all the stuff that I bought in about 3 or 4 visits to Morris & Sons. So the first one is So I bought needles because I want to do the Beekeeper's blanket from Tin Can Knits, not Tin Can Knits, Tiny Owl. So I just bought some carbons, and that was my first on my wool piggery and retail therapy. And the other one was I bought the Butia, B-U-T-I-A colorway in the Manos del Uruguay in Alegria. So this is 400 and, is that 45? I can't read it. But it's a nice sock yarn, and it's is it a nylon mix? Yeah. So 75 superwash, 25 polyamide, and I really like that colour. And I'll just open the skein up so you can see how the colourway works. So there will be definitely pooling depending on what I do, because basic definitely. Yeah, there's no doubt that there's going to be pooling from that, so just so that you're aware. So I bought that, but I went and bought some other stuff too from other visits. Firstly, I wanted to buy, I want to make the newborn vertebrae for someone obviously who's having a baby, and I wanted something cool. So I bought this one again. This is the Alegria, and it's the Candom. I think that's how it's pronounced. And that's the colourway there. I don't know what sex a child is, but I thought this would look good in a stripe. I don't believe that babies should have to have gender specific colours, and I just thought this was a nice rainbow colour. So again, this will, if you're wondering whether it pulls, this definitely pulls. But I thought that would look nice in a stripe with this grey. I just thought they would look gorgeous together. So obviously I'm going to be striping them that way. And this is, looks like a school that is school uniform grey, and it's actually called School, and this is from Morrison Sons as well in their 4-ply. So I thought they would look good together. I originally had thought about getting this one, which is the Pindo. This is the Pindo, but I thought that was too dark for what I wanted to do with the grey, but it's so beautiful that I had to buy it. So that's just awesome. And that's a Pindo. Loved it. So it's all Manos from there for me, because then I bought this one, and this is so soft and it's not scratchy at all. And this is how I test yarn. I just hold it like that. Shh. It's not scratchy at all. I love it. It just beautiful. And this is in Beehive, and this is the Manos Maxima, which is their worsted weight, 219 yards or 200 meters, 100 grams. And what I like about these is they actually tell you who dyed it. And this one, I think I couldn't remember. This is the one that I can't understand the writing to know who it is. And this is this cut. It's just so soft. Oops. But that's, I think I've just stuffed up the skein, but it's just. And basically, there was a few there, and I unravelled, you know, untwisted them to see which one I like the best, and this one I just like best. But I think, I've got a feeling they might have this in their other yarn bases too. I could be wrong. I don't know how Manos works, but how could you resist? It's just gorgeous. So I got that one, and I think I keep on tossing and turning about this because I want something that's close to my neck. But then I think it'll be nice to have a hat as well, because I think it's a good colour for me. But we will see. Then my more wool piggery, I put an order through with Yarn vs Zombies. It really irritates me because I just want to drive to her house and buy it, because she lives in my city, not where I live, but you know, everything. As soon as I hear a yarn dyer lives in Melbourne, I just go, well, I could just drive there. Doesn't matter if I'm on one side of the town and then she's on the other. I could just drive there. Anyway, so I put an order through, did some major wool piggery, and this is in her chubby base, and in Ice Planet I think it's 220 yards. What I find interesting is that I bought these two together so I can knit them together, but they actually look different. So I'm definitely going to have to alternate, because that has more black and this is, so it doesn't have the detail as much as that one. Like you could sell them as different, almost as different, what's the word? Different colorways. But I really like that one. And I also got in the Yarn vs Zombies, obviously because they're all Yarn vs Zombies. This is in a wombat base, which is 100% ethical merino, 250 yards. This is Melbourne street art. As soon as I saw this sort of triggered why I was putting my order through. And that's it there. Just, yeah, I think of Melbourne street art when I see that. So it's just spot on. It's almost like a grey, creamy base with specks of grey, darker greys and pinks and turquoise and pink, and you know, it's just, and that's pretty true to colour. And then two more from her. I picked up this one, and basically because I'm a firefly band, say that 3 times quickly, and this is in her wallaby base, which again is 100% ethical Aussie merino, but this is, because that was the wombat base, so this is in the fingering weight. It's just beautiful. So there's like mint and aqua and light purple, like a mid purple, like a violet, like a rust, a brown, a sage. Yeah, so it's just, I am just really crunching on that. And then lastly I got, and I've accidentally pulled it out, I got her in her haunted base, which is 20% nylon, 80% superwash merino. This is her stripy colourway in Morning Dew. And I think one of the girls from Foxes in Socks is actually, I think she was hibernating one of these. I'm sure the socks that she hibernated, because she was knitting it for Halloween. I'm sure it's the same, but I could be absolutely wrong. But that's gorgeous. I like that. I like it a lot. I promise there's not much to go. And then remember, this is thinking about what people show, you know, every week from things, so you know. And Juliana from Juliana's Fibre Podcast has an Etsy store, and you guys have seen that I've purchased yarn from her previously, and she had an update for some self-striping, and I was unfortunately late to it, but I did get 2 of the other colour, well, and another colourway that she was releasing, but I got 2 of them. And this is in her Lucid Dreams sock yarn, and it's 420 yards, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and the colour is grey hidden rainbow. I'll show you both of them, but isn't that just, so it's mainly grey, and then it's got this flash. Which one should I show you? Oh, so good. And I thought with one of these, like, I'm hoping that she does a heavier weight, because I don't know how this would look if I held double, because I want to make one for one of my nephews who likes rainbows. So I thought, I suppose I could do, there are beanies that I can make with fingering, but that's the flash there, and the rest is all grey, and I just can't wait to start knitting with this one. Like, I really need to choose what I want to knit with this, because I also do want to make socks with this once I learn. So I don't know if I'm going to save it or what. Yeah, so needless to say, I didn't get through and to get her self-striping sock yarn, but she had another update, and I was managed to order some. The sad thing is that I actually don't remember what I ordered, because I sort of was in a daze, and I ordered it on my phone, like, because it was 6 o'clock in the morning or something. Here, it might have been 7, but it was a Sunday or something like that. I don't know what it was. But yeah, pretty sad. But I love her. I love the colourways that she's got. I love her podcast. She's really sweet. She's Canadian. And I'll put her podcast and shop below if you want to check her out. But she's divine. So I'll tell her that Ayshxo said hello. She won't know who I am. But Ayshxo said hello. I'm sure she'll then go realise that's that mad woman from Australia that makes too many demands. I want to leave them two to last. And then when I went to the hand spinners thingy, when I went there to enroll and all that sort of stuff, and I had to buy some hand spun yarn because I don't spin, even though I booked to spin. So I bought some hand spun yarn. The first one is 75 grams. It doesn't say the meterage, so I have to work all that out. And the other one is 85 grams, but that's how it looked like. So it's done by the same person, and it's cool because it's got a swatch as well. That's how it knits up. I just like it. I don't know, I just go, you're soft enough, I must take you home. And that's what I did. And the other one that I got is 100 and something grams. And this one, look at this. It's just gorgeous. It's coming up quite blue on the screen. I'm not sure why. But it's blues, but it's more tealy than anything else. But yeah, the colourway looks weird. But this one is soft too, but not as soft as the other one. Like, I'm looking down at it because you're much softer, my dear. But there's something about it. I just had to have it. I had to have it. Who knows? Maybe sometime next year I'll start to spin like these ladies and gents as well. And I just like the idea of buying this sort of stuff. You know, sometimes families don't appreciate some of the, you know, we always talk about knit worthy and cross stitch worthy, or is that person worth that? Because the projects that we do, they're not that cheap. You make a pair of socks. Some people will see it as socks, but it's like, hang on, but I spent time on that. And P.S. the wool costs $30. You know, that's $30. That's handmade socks. And just the wool costs $30, you know. Yeah, so we talk about that sort of stuff. So I would imagine that people who sell in stalls, sell their yarn at the Hand Spinners Guild, etc., etc. Some of their family might not even appreciate it. So this is a way for me to like continue with their stuff. I thought that was my October Bling My String order. This particular one isn't. This was a special custom order, and it was I think it was the Sidekick or the XL. And she said, what fabric do you want? And I said, oh, can you get a hold of this fabric for me? I think it's Alexander Henry. I can't remember. I'll put a link, or I'll put what the designer's name is there. She goes, oh, let me see. And she did. And I was so happy I squealed. And she also gives you, provides stitch markers, so I'll show you those first. So there's one special stitch marker, which is cool, which is a fire hydrant. So can you guess what it is? And just there's other stitch markers which are awesome. Ooh, look at the sexy fireman. Ooh, but I'm sort of spewing because like these guys look like they would have been hot too, and I almost want to, and like he's got a moustache. I want him on a bag. I think I need to order another one from her. And it's just like, hola. And the inside is just like that. There's your thing, your string. And it's quite big, and I might put this for my shawl. So that's how the bottom looks like. And it's not a sweater size, if you're wondering, but I love it. I just think that it's awesome, and I am thankful for Aaron from Bling My String, who managed to source this fabric for me, because it's very exciting. And there's also a cowboy one and construction worker one. But I wish they had a Canadian Mountie one, because that would be awesome. And the other thing she does is, like, you know, handwritten notes, which is gorgeous. And so if you're not familiar with Bling My String, they make bags. She makes bags, I should say, and she makes other little notions as well. But she has this club, it's called, and it goes for 3 months, and you choose sort of the theme that you want. And this theme that I chose was Geek Chic. And when you put your order in, she asks you a whole bunch of questions that you need to answer. What's your favourite colour, etc., etc. You said you like science fiction, but what don't you like in that genre? And, you know, all that sort of stuff. So you answer a whole bunch of stuff. If you want this, what would you like? If I was to give you this, what would you like? And she sort of gets an idea. And I think it's kind of unique in the sense that, yeah, she'll have a lot of people who have similar things, but she does actually go to the effort. And even to try to coordinate 20 people would be difficult, and obviously she sells to more than 20 people, you know, and, you know, love it. I love it. So for one, obviously I did Geek Chic, and I said that I love books as well. So this is my book one. How awesome is that? I love it. Love it. I can't tell you how I almost pooed. I loved it so. Oh, I just burped. And that's the inside of it. It's a stunning colour as well. Yeah, I almost pooed. And then she provided stitch markers again, but the special one, this book. How cute is that? And then I also got one of these lanyards, which are great because you can put a scissors, well, use it as a handle, but you don't need to because she's already got a handle. But you can, you know, multitude of stuff. Put scissors, I can put like one of those little containers and put needles and other stuff, so that can be like a notions holder, which is awesome. So the fact that, again, spot on. So the last month was Big Bang Theory, and this month was this one, so just love it. Just freaking awesome. Okay, the camera has moved. Yes, I'm slightly closer. I just want to say lots of wool piggery, apologies for that, but I do enjoy it. That's it, guys. That's all I've got to show. I will be filming something cross-stitchy in the next few weeks. It possibly might just be a haul. We'll see how we go. And I'm saying a lot because I do miss you guys, and I still haven't responded to all your other comments from the other video, and I really want to apologise for that. If you have sat through all of this, I really do appreciate it. So if you guys have any suggestions about toe-up sock patterns that I should follow, or a method, or how I should increase, that would be greatly appreciated, and also how I should decrease as well. That would be cool. But I just think that possibly a toe-up sock would be much more better for me. Also, if you have stitched the loop cowl or any of the ones that I've knit, let me know and tell me how you went. Be sure to friend me on Ravelry, because I definitely will friend you back. And if you've done the oyster shawl, let me know, because I have read the beginning of the pattern and I've just gone, oh my god, how am I supposed to do that? But I think it'll be okay. It looks like somebody's coming to the front door, so I'll say my goodbyes. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.